Hey there YouTube, this is Marshall, and I'm getting ready to do some homemade bread. And the ingredients I have to have is 1/2 cup of milk, and you can use whole milk, and this one I used canned evaporated milk because I had only skim milk and 2%, so I just wanted that little bit extra richness. I needed 3 tablespoons of sugar, and the reason I've got that butter in there, I'll tell you. It's 3 tablespoons of sugar. Also, I'll put in there my 2 teaspoons of salt, and it takes 3 tablespoons of butter. Just stick that in there for the moment. It takes 5 to 6 cups of all-purpose flour. You can use unbleached, bleached, enriched, whatever, but this flour is what I used, and it came out great. Use 4½ teaspoons of yeast. I keep mine in the freezer, so I buy this larger size right here. And water. This water is very warm. It's been into the microwave, and this is to start the yeast to blooming, to working. So I'm taking 4½ teaspoons. One, 2, 3, 4, and 1/2 teaspoons of yeast. Let me stir that up there. This is a living organism, and it's dormant until it hits something that will start making it grow and bloom again. This is what causes your bread to rise, which is a lot of people already know that. So I'm setting this off to the side. I'm setting this off to the side and just letting it do its thing until I get ready to use it. Okay, now you take in a saucepan, a good size one, whatever. It doesn't have to be really big. You put your sugar, your salt, and your 2 tablespoons of, or your 3 tablespoons of butter, and your cream or your milk right there. And you're going to put these over to the stove on low just until the butter melts and it's all liquidy, and then we'll start working it in with our flour and our yeast. I'll be back just as soon as I melt this down. It won't take long, and we will be ready to start mixing. Okay, now our milk and sugar and all that is warmed up, and it is dissolved. The sugar is, that's what you need, is to dissolve it. Okay, now we're going to mix up in a mixer, and I'm using a dough hook. This is so much easier than kneading by hand, but you can do the kneading by hand. Okay, I'm going to start off with some sugar, with some of the flour. Let me turn it around here. Let me get a dipper. Okay, start off with 1, 2, 3. Start off about 3½ cups. Let's pour in our yeast mixture. I'm not going to be talking while this is going on because it makes a funny sound on this webcam, so we'll just go ahead and mix it up, and you can watch it here. it this way, it'll start pulling away from the bowl, and I'll show you. It is starting to pull away as we speak, you know. So I'll show you that while it's mixing. And like I said, I'm not going to be talking because it does make a funny sound and crackle. Okay, as you see, it's pulling away. It's just right. It's not too sticky, but yet it's sticky. You know, it's going to hold together. So, move all this off there. I'll push this back. I had a cup extra in here of flour, so you see that in there. That was for mixing. So, pull my sleeves up. I can't hardly work with those on. There. We got our dough hook out. And it came out perfect. I mean, it's just best bread ever for me. And kids, they like light bread or white bread. Let me fix this so you can see it. Now we have just a little kneading, not a whole lot, just enough to make sure that it is incorporated good. See here how it came out in one big ball. Okay. Now the next thing I do, I'm through with it right now. This is done. I mean, this is all I'm going to do for it. Is I put it into a greased bowl and I let it sit in a warm oven. I'm going to preheat my oven to 325 for just about 30 seconds and turn it off, just to knock the chill off the oven. Then I put it into a greased bowl and cover it over with a towel, a clean towel, and let it double in size. I'll show you just as soon as I get it in the bowl, and then we'll put it in the oven. So this is the start of our ball, and that will make 2 loaves. YouTube lost that video again. So I want to tell you what I did, and it's still rising. I put the dough into a greased bowl with oil in it. I turned it over, made sure it was well coated, covered it over with a towel, have it in a preheated oven that's just had the heat turned on and turned off, just enough to knock the chill off. So it will rise for 1 hour. So when it gets risen, we'll bring it back, and hopefully we won't lose this one. So, see you later. Okay, here our dough has doubled. So, pull up the sleeves, and we're going to punch it down and deflate that. And pull it away from the sides. And there is the ball. We're going to, let me cut this in half, because half of this makes 1 loaf. Let me put that there. show you just a little bit better. Okay. Make a ball again, and then make a loaf. So pinch these together. Hold on just a second. I need some more flour. What we're doing here is that you roll this out to a rectangular shape, like a jelly roll. Boy, it's really elastic too. Gosh. I made this once before and this wasn't near as elastic as this. Okay, that's good enough on that. Let's just roll it up. Roll over the ends, tuck them under. Let's pinch these pieces, or the ends together right here. And I've got my baking pans here already greased and oiled. Let's turn it over. Okay, now we want to mash this in there and take up every bit of the space. We don't want to have a loose space over in a corner or something like that. But, oh man, this is as elastic as I've ever seen it. It's good. So we want it to fill the pan just like this. Do the other one. Like I said, it's already oiled. Let's take and roll this in some flour. Just for a thought, just to get some of the oil incorporated into it that was on the outside. Now let's take our rolling pin, make a rectangular shape. Okay. Let's do this side. I forgot about that. Okay, we got her. Tuck under some ends. Let's pinch it together. And like I said, it's a good elastic bread, so this ought to come up excellent. Covered with oil. Put that rough side down that we just pinched. I mean, it's going to, not all the time will it stick, but it'll do. Punch it down. Now, I'm going to put it back into the oven for 1 hour. It's still warm. And I'm going to cover them over with the towel again. And we'll be back just as soon as it raises and start our baking process. Okay, our bread has doubled in size and I'm getting ready to put it into an oven, 400 degrees for 30 minutes. See how beautiful that looks. So, put that in here. I'm going to sit this for 30 minutes. let it bake. We shall be back. We'll be back just as soon as it's baked. So, okay, my bread is out of the oven. We're done. Now it's out. I just wanted to show you. It is beautiful. So it doesn't take rocket scientists to make decent bread from all-purpose flour. That is it. Thank you. Hope you enjoy.